And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans on this pre-game Sunday show, folks. Woof, no intro today. Let's bypass the intro for today. Y'all know we're here every single day. Come on. If y'all don't know by now, I don't know what else to tell you. But yeah, today, folks, today is a big old Sunday. Week 2 is about to kick off in under an hour. So let's just see our final thoughts, what is going on, inactives, last second actives, inactives, all that. So we got 59 minutes before the start of week 2. Well, the Sunday, you could classify Thursday as the start of week 2, but that's like one game. We've got 1s, 4s, 8s. Sheesh. So let's just see what's going on around the league. We'll get out of here probably about 12:55, 5 minutes right before kickoff, just so we can have time to get everything good to go for the episode, and then, just kick back and watch 7 hours of uninterrupted football till the 8 o'clock game, and then watch that as well. So let's see what is going on around the league. Here we go. Some quick inactives. The big players out for today. OBJ, he's not going to make his kind of season debut. Sat out week 1, sitting out week 2, coming back from that ACL injury. We were worried about Saquon Barkley not going, by week 1, and really we should have been worried about OBJ not out there. But the Browns have the Texans today, and hopefully they can, squeak out a win there and have OBJ potentially come back week 3 with a 1-1 record and try to have that team get back on track. But no OBJ today, unfortunately. Will Fuller is also out, personal reasons. Watch out. We're kind of tracking a potential bombshell story here coming out with, information about Will Fuller, but we'll keep eyes on that. Nothing has came out just yet about the exact circumstances of why Will Fuller is not playing this week, but we'll see what happens next week. But Will Fuller for the Dolphins, no go. Another no-go, and this is a little big, not too big, but a little big out here. No Josh Jacobs, running back for the Raiders today. How unfortunate. They have to go on the road to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Definitely would love to have Josh Jacobs there, obviously, but they've got a real solid backup in Kenyon Drake, and he can get the job done here. So, don't kind of fade away from the Raiders if you're kind of looking to bet this game or whatever it was. We're going to check the spreads and all the games around the league in just a minute once we're done going over these actives and inactives. But, yeah, if you're still liking I think it opened up at like Raiders plus 6.5, plus 5.5, whatever that is now. If you're still liking the Raiders with the points, I say, don't let Josh Jacobs being out deter you from that fact. Kenyon Drake is very, very serviceable. He can be a starting running back on any team in this league. I'm fine saying that. And so don't worry about the Raiders running game with no Josh Jacobs. They will be able to get it done and will be competitive here on the road because of Kenyon Drake. So unfortunate your number 1 is out, but your number 2 is just maybe as good as your number 1. So that's the exact perfect situation everybody wants to be in. So no Josh Jacobs, no Eric McCoy, no Brandon Smith, no Xavier Rhodes, no Kyle Van Noy, no Deshaun Watson, obviously, no Trey Waynes, no Anthony Barr, no Christian Darrisaw, no Everson Griffin, no Chris Harris, no Caleb Fairley, no Derek Wolfe, no Devon Kennard, and no Ty Neshke. Folks, the big names by every team around the league here, by most teams out here, missing a key piece. So we'll see how these injuries kind of affect these teams tonight, but these are most of the players not playing today. Officially active are Gabe Davis, Keelan Cole, Jonnu Smith, Trey Sermon, Michael Pittman, and you better have a better game than last week, jeez Louise, Zach Moss and Eric Fisher. Now, some more inactives here, and just truly unfortunate, Ramondre Stevenson, the running back for the Patriots. I don't think he's injured. They just say he fumbled in game 1, and Bill Belichick has kind of a no-tolerance policy for running back staff fumble, especially rookie running back staff fumble or non-proven running back staff fumble. So, truly unfortunate by Ramondre Stevenson, a healthy scratch out there. So truly disappointing there, especially of how electric he kind of was in the preseason. No Marshawn Lattimore for the Saints cornerback. And, where is this one? Let me bring up this tweet so we can talk about it. I think I dug it in here. Here we go. But yeah, no Marshawn Lattimore and no CJ Gardner-Johnson. Their 2 cornerbacks are going to be playing today. So they've got a tough opponent here against the Panthers, and they are on the road here. But no Marshawn Lattimore, and we see what Marshawn Lattimore did last week against the Packers defensively. He didn't have one of their interceptions, which is great, but he had 2 tackles and 1 assist tackle. But when we look at their depth chart now, so we're going to be having Bradley Roby step in for Marshawn Lattimore, and no C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's the backup safety to Malcolm Jenkins. So these corners are going to have their kind of work cut out for them. We'll see if Bradley Roby can kind of step in and get it done. Their other starting quarterback, Paulson Adebo, he was one of the 2 pass interceptors on Aaron Rodgers last week. So hopefully, once again, their corner game can kind of get it done without having Marshawn Lattimore out there. But the Saints going to be missing a couple of key defensive pieces out there, Marshawn Lattimore and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And then a real last second inactive here, which is not going to go well for the Jets. I mean, folks, I was expecting Jamison Crowder to be out there just last night, actually, this morning at 4 a.m., folks. Jamison Crowder, questionable with the groin injury, is expected to play against the Patriots. But then just 20 minutes ago, folks, he has been officially ruled inactive. So once again, this is going to be a huge out here for this Jets team. Zach Wilson not having his complement of receivers to work with and play with. Still going to have Corey Davis, which is great. And I believe their number 3 wide receiver is still out there. Let's bring up their depth chart, because remember last week there was 2 wide receivers. It was Jamison Crowder, and I'm blanking on the other name. Who was it? Was it Keelan Cole? I think it was Keelan Cole. It was Keelan Cole. So they didn't have Jamison Crowder. They didn't have Keelan Cole last week, but they get Keelan Cole back this week. Just unfortunately still no Jamison Crowder, who is kind of their number 2 wide receiver out there. So Zach Wilson getting some more weapons back, but still not his full complement, and we'll see what he can do today against the Patriots team with Bill Belichick, and we know his defense and all that. So unfortunate out there by Jamison Crowder. Really wish he was out there, and we were kind of hoping he would be, and just kind of 20 minutes ago gets pulled right out from under us. So unfortunate there. Jamison Crowder is a no-go for the Jets. Alrighty, so those are the main inactives and actives for today. I believe the Saints have a little bit of a COVID outbreak. A couple of coaches are not going to be able to go, and that's why some of these players are not able to go as well today. So unfortunate there. But, Jameis Winston is still good. That offense is all really kind of still good. It's just on the defensive side and some of the coaches. So watch out for the Saints to try to still be competitive here, and we'll see what they can do in Carolina today. All right, before we kind of keep going on with the show and getting into some stories about what's going to be happening today, let's go back to what these official lines are. Now, we're about, 50 minutes away from kickoff, so these are basically what the lines are going to end on. But I want to get a last final look because, these last 2 days, Friday and Saturday, these lines have really been moving half a point, a full point, all that in really every single direction. So I want to get one last final look at these lines just to kind of see where the great value was. If you got, a spread at kind of 3.5 and then it fell to 3, is it now at 3 or is it 3.5? Did you get the best value? So let's just track where these lines are and where they're basically going to be closing now that all the information of actives and inactives are pretty much out there and an hour away. These are basically what these lines are going to close at. So here we go. Saints-Panthers is closing at Saints -3. And we locked it in at Saints -3.5. So unfortunately, we didn't get the best value when we made our picks on Friday. Went down another half a point, and that's definitely, given because of, Marshawn Lattimore, their cornerbacks, their coaches not being able to go. But, only a half a point value right there. So Saints-Panthers -3 for the Saints. All right, look at this one. Wow, this one dropped another full point. Holy cow. Bengals-Bears. Bengals +1.5. Bears -1.5. This opened up at Bears -2.5, and now it is at Bears -1.5. So another full point drop here with this Bengals-Bears game, and that just means everybody's betting the Bengals with the points. Nobody's trusting Andy Dalton, so why is Matt Nagy sticking with him? What sense did this make? All the bettors, everybody's betting on the Bengals. They know that they're the better team, and Matt Nagy is the only one that has believability in Andy Dalton. Nobody's betting Andy Dalton. Nobody thinks Andy Dalton can get it done. This is Andy Dalton's revenge game, and everybody's betting on the Bengals. That's not a great sign if I'm anybody in the Bears organization. Andy Dalton can't get it done. It's obviously clear to everybody if the line is dropping like this, folks. Man, oh man. Matt Nagy, get Justin Fields in there. We got a story about that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. But man, oh man, folks, everybody's betting the Bengals with the points. Get that value. Damn. Andy Dalton, man, he's out of the league. Out of the league by the end of this year, which we can kind of celebrate. But it's already going to be a little bit too late for the Bears by the time they make that decision. But man, oh man, Bears starting 0-2. That's what Matt Nagy deserves, honestly, for not playing Justin Fields week 1. But we digress. Alrighty, and this line keeps on growing as well. Texans, Browns, and we really did not get the best value out of here today, folks. How unfortunate. So we ended up taking this pick in our 99% guarantees for our official picks this week with the Texans plus 12.5, and now it is that Texans plus 13.5, and this is a line that we have seen grow and continue to grow every single day. Friday it was 12.5, Saturday it was 13, Sunday is 13.5, so everybody's kind of buying that Browns team, but we think you should play it the other way. Take the Texans plus the points. Absolutely great value right here. Tyrod Taylor will keep it close. I'm going to call it right here. Let me knock on wood. Final thought here for the week. Tyrod Taylor gets it done, keeps the game close, and I'm going to say they only lose by 7 or less. I don't think they win like we've been saying all week, but I think they keep it close. A 7-point win for the Browns or less. Texans cover with the plus 13.5. I say gobble up that value. Absolutely. Alrighty, Rams, Colts. This line has climbed a little bit as well. We locked it in at Rams minus 3.5, and now it is Rams minus 4. Man, oh man, that Colts team getting plus 4 points is truly, truly appetizing. And I know that Colin Cowherd definitely likes the Colts plus the points today. Let's see if we can bring up his Blazing 5. We were trying to get to this yesterday on the show, 2 days ago on the show, but it wasn't up. They didn't post it. So this is really interesting that they're not posting his Blazing 5 on his Twitter page. This is truly crazy. Maybe Colin Cowherd, because he's got the Volume podcast network, doesn't want his picks out here on the Herd anymore, wants that exclusively on the Volume. How interesting would that be? But yeah, I don't even think Colin Cowherd put up his own Blazing 5 for this week. He always does that. I love that Blazing 5 segment. It's great. Man. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's up here this week. How truly crazy. Crazy. I don't even think it's on the Volume. I guess I could check the Volume Twitter page, but I don't think he posted it there either. I don't think he can post anything that he does at the Herd on here anyway, so interesting, but no Blazing 5 here by Colin. How truly crazy. I could look it up, but I don't really care that much. We would have just referenced it real quick, but all right, Colin, yeah, we see you out there doing your own thing, whatever. Okay. All right, so Colts plus 4, it's truly appetizing, but I really think this is going to be the bad play of going with the Colts. I can't trust their offense just quite yet. It's not there yet. It's not solidified yet. Carson Wentz with these receivers is not making it work. Michael Pittman Jr. is not stepping up, and this Rams defense, the Colts are in for it. So we'll see if he can kind of maneuver this great Rams team offensively, defensively, coaching-wise, but I'm just not buying the Colts. And like we said, we bought the Colts. We are still buying the Colts. We still have them as our Super Bowl winners. But I don't know. Really early on in the season, I think they still have to get their foot underneath them. They're feeding underneath them like the Bucks did last season. They didn't come out of the gate firing. Took them a couple of weeks to get it going. So Rams, Colts. Rams is at now minus 4. Everybody's liking the Rams minus some points. Interesting. Alrighty, this line has stayed steady, and I'm very glad. We didn't take this pick. We do like the Broncos here today, but this line is just not exactly great value one way or the other, so that's why we're staying away from it. Broncos, Jaguars, Broncos still at minus 6. This line I don't think has moved at all. It has not moved at all, where every other line that we've been talking about, half a point, full point, shit is moving out here besides this Broncos-Jaguars game, so no heavy faith, no big believability one way or the other, according to the bettors out there, and it stays at minus and plus 6. Alrighty, Jets, Patriots minus 6, Jets plus 6. I think this line has absolutely gone wild. Was this not starting at plus minus 3? Damn. Let me see. We're going to Score Mobile right here just because they track the lines. I want to see what this line opened at, because I don't think it opened at plus minus 6 like this. This is crazy. This is a big old jump. Damn. Let's see where this betting line started. All right, it opened at minus 5. Okay, now it's at minus 6. I thought it was like minus 4, minus 3. Interesting. But yeah, another kind of big jump here on the line. Patriots -6. Like, I like this Patriots team, but I think everybody's still falling in love with this Patriots team because they still kind of connect this Patriots team because of Bill Belichick to the team of the past of the Patriots, but they really have to prove that they are kind of this new generation, this new era of Patriots team that can still win games consistently and be competitive consistently. And last year they won what, 7-8 games last season, I guess. But with Mac Jones and what they're showing, they definitely got to do a little bit more. I don't know if I swallow the 6 here with the Patriots just quite yet. Let's see what this team actually is in a divisional game on the road, and now the Jets, yeah, no Jameson Crowder here for this Jets team and Zach Wilson to work with, but the Jets were looking pretty solid against the Panthers. You leave the door open, which the Patriots can and will do. They just did it last week against the Dolphins, never truly putting them away. And, Patriots going on a game-winning drive, and they fumble the ball. The Dolphins take over and the game is over. So I stay away from this spread as well. I can't really find the great value. I don't know if I believe in swallowing 6 points here with this kind of lackluster overall offensive productive team that is the Patriots. I don't know if we can buy them quite yet. So we're staying away from this game. 6-point spread right there. I don't know if I can find the value in either side. But another game that's line is increasing right to kickoff. Alrighty, next game up is the 49ers and the Eagles, and this is coming down a little bit. Look at this one. Did we lock this in? We did not take this game. But this was kind of hovering around 3.5, and now it's at 49ers -2.5, Eagles +2.5. So a lot of people were buying the Eagles. I see everybody betting and buying the Eagles this weekend. That's fine. I've got no problem with everybody buying the Eagles. I just think it's a little too early to say that this Eagles team is the real deal. Everybody's coming out after week 1 saying this Eagles team is absolutely the real deal. They'll probably win the division. Jalen Hurts is the real deal, and I believe in Jalen Hurts. But the Eagles, we have to remember who they faced last week. They faced the Falcons. I don't say that's a great team at all. They didn't do anything, so the Eagles blowing them out, I don't think should be weighted heavily now that they have to face another great team, their first real opponent. And, come Monday, if the Eagles do blow out this 49ers team, hey, I will definitely certify this Eagles team as the real deal and probably will put them in the top 10 for our power rankings come on Tuesday. But I don't know if I buy the Eagles team yet. I think everybody's getting a slight small. I think this Eagles team is good. I'm not trying to knock this Eagles team or bash this Eagles team or anything like that. I do think they are a real solid team right here, but this 49ers team is kind of another kind of upper echelon team. I think I put them a kind of tier above where the Eagles are right at the current moment. So a huge test here real early on, and we'll see what the Eagles can do out here. And we'll see what Jalen Hurts can do and what this 49ers defense can do to Jalen Hurts. We know the Falcons defense is absolutely atrocious, folks. I mean, it's not even anything resembling a good defense. So we'll see what Jalen Hurts can pull off with this 49ers defense. Who do we got? Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa coming off and rushing quick. All right, we'll see. Alrighty, Raiders, Steelers. Raiders +5.5. I want to say this started at +6.5. So let me bring up where this official line started. Now officially at Raiders +5.5, Steelers -5.5. And I like the Steelers to kind of win out today, but don't let Josh Jacobs being out hinder your decision about taking those points here with the Raiders. 5.5 points is a great amount of points. Absolutely. This did start at -6.5. Wow. This did start at -6.5 and is now at -5.5. So lines jumping a full point here. A crazy week. I don't know if I can't really remember another week that all these lines have been jumping crazy like this. So we'll see if this is kind of the new wave here now that, betting is, more widespread and legalized and everybody's getting their own apps, Caesars. I mean, you can't go a football Sunday without seeing a million, Caesars sportsbooks apps. JB Smooth, do your thing. I've got no problem with him and Curb. I mean, absolutely fantastic. The man is a comedic genius. So give him credit there, but it's still advertising. But, Raiders +5.5, I don't think it's bad value. Not bad value. But we'll see what the Steelers can do, what they can do at home. Hopefully they can move the ball a little bit better. Kind of struggled offensively last week, but you can put that up to the Bills defense, So we'll see what happens here, but this is going to be a great game. Value is falling. People are betting this, taking the points there with the Raiders. Alrighty, Dolphins and Bills is settling around 3.5, 3. We locked it in at 3. Now officially at plus 3.5, and it was plus 3.5. It's been fluctuating half a point here over the last couple of days, but now is kind of finally resting at Dolphins plus 3.5. Dolphins at home. I mean, I can guarantee you that this Dolphins team has been marking and circling this game on the calendar, the first opportunity to try and beat the Bills, given what happened last season, week 17, when they needed a win to get in. They floundered big time. I mean, that was one of the most disappointing performances I think I've ever seen in the NFL. I mean, folks, a chance to get into the playoffs, and then, they get absolutely routed and threw picks and couldn't move the ball and just looked absolutely garbage. So I think the Dolphins are going to come out with full vengeance here. I think a lot of people are forgetting about that aspect when they talk about this game. We'll see what happens. We like the Dolphins with the points. We'll see what they can do today. Alrighty, Vikings and Cardinals, and people are betting the Vikings with the points here, and I think that's the wrong way to go. We locked this one at Cardinals -4. It's now at Cardinals -3.5, so we see that's half a point drop, which tells us the people are putting the money on the Vikings with the points, but I'm not giving any more betting buyability, backability to this Vikings team. If they want to be good, they can be good on their own dime. We're not putting any more money on this Vikings team, and we are absolutely in love what we saw from Arizona in week 1. We highly regard them as one of the best teams in the league. We have them number 2 on our power rankings, and we think they can cover the -3, -4 pretty solidly here tonight against the Vikings. Once again, Vikings on the road. Never really plays well with them. Alrighty, Falcons and Bucks, and I don't think this line has moved at all. I think a lot of people are staying away from this game because they don't know what the hell is going to be going on. What the hell is going on here with Atlanta? I mean, what a stinker there, week 1 when they were at home. I mean, geez, Louise, how do you drop the ball there? And now they have to go and face defending Super Bowl champions. But then you got the Super Bowl a couple of years ago playing into the mix here, Brady and Matt Ryan and all that. So I would highly suggest staying away from this game and swallowing all those points here, especially given the backdoor cover last week. That was the Lions, covering right at the last second there in the fourth quarter, putting up a lot of points. So I would stay away from Falcons and Bucks, and it seems like a lot of people are, because this line is not moving at all. Alrighty, Cowboys and Chargers, and you lost a little bit of value here. We locked this one in at Cowboys plus 3.5, and is now officially Cowboys plus 3 only. So you don't have that half a point hook. We know you can score 3 points. You can win by 3 points, because of a field goal. So potential push here. So maybe buy maybe buy that extra half a point or sell that extra half a point, however you're betting it. But yeah, I think the Cowboys, unfortunate with all their injuries coming in on the defensive side of the ball, but I still love that offense, and I don't know if this Chargers defense is ready for it, especially all that rest. So we just looked at the probability that the NFL was putting out on their YouTube channel yesterday on the show, and they said that the Cowboys win this game outright. They cover the spread, obviously, since they went outright and getting points here. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on this Cowboys team and letting all those kind of injury news get in the way of betting them today. I think that's great value with the 3 points. Absolutely. Alrighty, Seahawks and Titans. Titans +6, Seahawks -6. I want to say this is the same line. I don't think this line has moved at all either here. Tough one to call. You don't really see the Titans going 0-2, but this is potentially, if this is the way that the Titans are going to be going this week, or this season, where, over the last 2 seasons, we've seen them kind of drop down a little bit in production and wins and playoff deepness, getting to the AFC Championship game and then, getting bounced in the second round last season. So this Titans team are in the first round. I believe they lost in the wild card against... Yeah, let's see what when did this Titans team get bounced out last season? I want to say they got exited in the wild card round. Let's double check this. Here we go. Titans. What do we got? Last season, they lost in the wild card. Yeah, lost in the wild card against the Ravens. Absolutely unfortunate. Lost 20-13. Ravens get their revenge about their regular season loss and they win in the playoffs. So Titans, I mean, this is potentially, they don't even make the playoffs this season. Lost in the AFC Championship game 2019, 2020, lost a wild card. This season doesn't even make the playoffs. So that's potential here. We'll see what this Titans team can do. New offensive coordinator, not truly getting it done like Arthur Smith did last season, the last 2 years. So Seahawks at home, I think they get it done. I stay away from the spread a little bit too much for my liking because we know what the Titans can be. And if Derrick Henry can get out to a nice start out here and, put up over 100 yards rushing, he can keep the game close and chew out the clock and, 3-4 point win here. So the 6 could definitely cover, but we'll stay away from this one a little bit too close for us. Alrighty, and then the late game tonight, the Chiefs and the Ravens. Chiefs -4, Ravens +4. I think this one is climbing slightly as the week has progressed, but, we'll see. This is going to be a great one. We got a story about Lamar Jackson coming up a little bit later today on the show as well. But, yeah, so far, all these final lines we have seen, half point, full point jumps here over the last 3-4 days. So, hopefully you secured the maximum value when it was open. That's what we preach here on the show. When you see value, absolutely take it when you see it because it can go away just like that, folks. All right, so now that we are up to date on all the spreads around the league, let's see what else is going on. What should we be expecting to see today? Last second, we're about 30 minutes away from kickoff, so let's see what we get. Here we go. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, quote, not dwelling on 0-3 record versus the Chiefs ahead of Sunday night. And yeah, that's just unfortunate. And that's definitely a huge narrative that is being played in the national media. Obviously, the rivalry between Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, both great kind of dual threat, athletic as heck, special talent quarterback wise. Obviously they're going to be compared against each other coming into the league basically at the same time. Both kind of sat behind their counterpart when they were first initially kind of drafted and took some time getting out there. They weren't week 1 starters like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert and all those other rookies. So obviously they're just going to be naturally compared against each other for the next, 10 years as long as they're both starting in this league. But Lamar Jackson is not dwelling on the 0-3 start, and you can't. I mean, that's just unfortunate that, you got out to a little bit of a slower start, that the Chiefs are just a little bit of an overall better team than the Ravens are. I'm going to put Patrick Mahomes ahead of Lamar Jackson in talent-wise, obviously, but I really don't think the gap is that big between their talents. I just think, unfortunately, the Chiefs have Andy Reid, and, the Ravens, they have John Harbaugh, and he has been, seeming to be proven serviceable as he's been coaching. He won a Super Bowl, always usually very competitive in his division and all that, but it seems like Andy Reid is a little bit notch above since he's getting to these Super Bowls and winning. And same thing with Patrick Mahomes over Lamar Jackson, just a slight notch above. So they're going to have their work cut out for them today. We'll see if we get Le'Veon Bell in action. I believe he should be good to go. Obviously, we didn't see him last week. We did see Latavius Murray, which is great. But let's see if we get any information here on Le'Veon Bell. He's not on their inactive report, so seems like he's going to be making his debut here, and we'll see what he can do. Ravens at home here also tonight, so that's definitely going to help them out hugely here. Primetime game, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid is going to be ready, but let's see what Lamar Jackson is saying here, and if we get anything good in this article. So here we go. Where do we get his first quote at? Here we go. Entering Sunday night, Jackson is well aware of his past assessment and hopes to fix what has been a troubling trend against the reigning AFC champions. Quote, I said that because they did beat us 3 times. So it's like, man, we've got to find a way to win, and hopefully this Sunday night coming up will be different. All right, we get a couple more. We get a couple more quotes here. So let's keep reading some lead ups here. We got to go back one more paragraph. Here we go. Jackson posted career low passing numbers in the latest defeat to Kansas City, completing just 15 passes for 97 yards and a touchdown, 9 rushes for 83 yards, while getting sacked 4 times and losing 1 fumble. The 4th-year quarterback has completed just 52.6% of his passes in the 3 games against the Chiefs, while averaging 170.6 6.3 passing yards per game. Yikes, that is really not great. 52% completion percentage. Sheesh, Lamar, damn. You got to, start stepping up a little bit more out here. Damn, you can't just let Patrick Mahomes bitch you like this every single season, every single year. So, a huge game tonight. We'll see if Lamar Jackson is ready for it. In 35 games against the rest of the league, Jackson has completed 65% of his passes with an average of 170 yards passing per game while accumulating a 30-5 regular season record. On the other hand, Mahomes has put up great numbers against the Ravens, averaging 378 passing yards per game at a 71% completion rate while throwing 9 touchdowns and just 1 interception. Jeez Louise, I didn't know the head-to-head matchup between these two quarterbacks were this drastic. Lamar Jackson against Patrick Mahomes, 52% completion percentage for only 170 yards. Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson, 378 passing yards and 71% completion percentage and 9 passing touchdowns. Sheesh. All right, Lamar Jackson, it is now urgent now that you win this game. I wasn't having the urgency meter at a maximum coming into this article and all this information, but yeah, we're turning up the pressure here on Lamar Jackson. You need to have a good game. I won't put a win. I won't kind of classify it as you need to win this game. You need to look great this game. If you lose, that's fine. We can blame it on the running backs, obviously. Maybe the defense wasn't great. We don't obviously want to use excuses talking about Lamar Jackson, but I think we can decently give a little bit of a pass, not a full free pass to Lamar Jackson on a loss, but maybe a little bit of a quarter of a free pass to Lamar Jackson if he loses, but plays really, really well. So we'll see how they go tonight. It's prime time, baby. Sunday Night Football. Put up or shut up. Prime time television. Everybody's going to be watching. I'm sure there will be a stat come out tomorrow or Tuesday whenever the ratings officially kind of come in and come out. That this would probably be the highest rated watched Sunday Night Football in the last 5-10 years since another big game. So pressure is on Lamar Jackson out here. We'll see if he can go get it done. All right, let's hear from Sammy Watkins on what he has to say. Here we go. Ravens wideout Sammy Watkins, who spent the last 3 seasons with Mahomes in Kansas City, believes it's an unspoken rivalry between the 2-star quarterbacks and that the team recognizes how important a win over the Chiefs would be for Jackson going forward. Oh, that's great to hear, actually, that the locker room is kind of actively kind of unspoken. They know it's an unspoken rivalry. Like, nobody's kind of being like, oh, Lamar, you ready for this game in the locker room? Hey, you better be ready. This is a big game. It's an unspoken kind of rivalry here that everybody knows. Everybody knows that this is going to help out Lamar Jackson's legacy over Patrick Mahomes come 10 years down the line. So I kind of love that Sammy Watkins is kind of, acknowledging that and doing everything that he can to help and kind of unselfishly forward Lamar Jackson's legacy in his career and all that. So that's kind of great that the locker room, the Ravens locker room, truly understands what is at stake here. That's great. But let's hear from Sammy Watkins. Quote, I think those guys definitely view it that way. You can say you're not, but the world is watching 2 of the best, youngest MVPs in the league and very talented guys. I'm definitely looking at it that way, like, man, Lamar needs to win. He's been doing a great job in this league with how he's carrying himself as a teammate and as a guy that does the right things off the field. I just think it's time for him to take that next hump to try and get a win. And I hope this team, we prepare and the coaches prepare to do our best to will a win for the organization and him. So, wow, great quote right here by Sammy Watkins. Absolutely love the quote right here. Wants himself to be kind of unselfish here, kind of expecting the entire team to be unselfish and just let Lamar Jackson do what he needs to do to win this game. Love this quote here by Sammy Watkins, and I'm kind of favoring the Ravens. I kind of want to take the Ravens +4. I think that's great value now. Ravens +4 is great value because of what Sammy Watkins is saying here. Sammy Watkins truly buying into this kind of team right now, especially since he's just spent the last 3 years with Patrick Mahomes. He could be like, I've been with Patrick Mahomes longer bigger than I was Lamar Jackson. Obviously, I'm with Lamar Jackson now, so I'm going to do what's best for him. But, man, oh, man, I'm obviously not rooting for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to win this game because I'm with the Ravens. But, I've got so much love and respect for Patrick Mahomes. I want him to do well. I want Lamar Jackson to do well. He's not saying that. He's like, hey, Lamar needs to win, and I'm ready to give him a win here. So let's go fucking win this game. Oh, man, Sammy, baby. Woo, love it. Love it. And I believe that Sammy Watkins had a really good game last week. Didn't he put up like 90 yards and a touchdown? Let me get that up quickly, what he did last week, because, we know he's basically their deep threat wide receiver, especially since Bateman was injured last week, was a no-go. So Sammy Watkins, 96 yards, no touchdown, but 96 yards, we can definitely get behind that. Still, unfortunately, lost, we know, but, leading wide receiver for this team, we can definitely get behind that. So Sammy Watkins, talking the talk and walking that walk, we absolutely love it, folks. Alrighty, we're big on the Ravens. Take the Ravens +4. That is our kind of game day bet. Ravens +4. What has changed our mind? What was a bet that we wanted to stay away from throughout the week, but now, last second bet that we can get in. We're feeling good on the Ravens. We're feeling good on Lamar Jackson, and we are loving Sammy Watkins. We are going to take the 4 here, folks. Here we go. Let's take it. Here we go. Let's take it. Ravens +4. Taking it. Taking it, folks. It is tooken. Alrighty, so obviously Lamar Jackson's not worried about it, not dwelling on the 0-3 start, but the team is rallying around him, so we absolutely love it, folks. Whew. Alrighty, next up here. All right, Richard Sherman didn't get signed right before the season. We had that little bit of a breakdown, unfortunately, and then nobody signed him, and then big unfortunate again. But now, 2 weeks into the season, multiple teams are calling on free agent cornerback Richard Sherman, who expects to play in 2021. Alrighty, let's see if we go in this article right here. Is this just nonsense? Is this just something being like, hey, he's getting calls with no actual sources or information or team, saying, hey, we're actually calling him. So let's see what we get in this article. Is this actually real? Are people calling Richard Sherman, or is this just kind of baloney? So let's see what we get here. Short article. Doesn't see any quotes, so that's not great, but let's see what they say. Let's see what this man says. Tom Pelissero. Kind of big NFL.com reporter, big wig over there, so gonna have to take his words, weighing them heavily. Let's see what he says here. Here we go. Multiple NFL teams have reached out in recent days to 5-time Pro Bowl cornerback Richard Sherman, who has been undergoing therapy since a July arrest. Sherman is back to his old Seattle playing weight of 195 pounds and expects to be on the field at some point in 2021. Sources say the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers touched base with Sherman. Oh my God, could you imagine if the Bucks got Richard Sherman? They don't even need him, and they go out and get him. Just, Sean Murphy Bunting, a little bit of an injury on the linebacker position out there. Obviously, we know Richard Sherman's a corner, but defense taking a little bit of a hit there in week 1, but they're doing their due diligence, so damn. But sources say the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers touched base with Sherman 33 last week after they lost starting cornerback, not linebacker, Sean Murphy Bunting, indefinitely with a dislocated elbow. The 49ers also have maintained contact with Sherman since his contract expired in March. I don't see him going back to the 49ers. And losing Jason Verrett to a season-ending knee injury in Week 1 expressed interest in bringing Sherman back later in the season. The Seahawks have been open about their talks with Sherman about a potential reunion as well. Money is a factor. Sherman had interest from several teams, including the 49ers, Seahawks, and Saints, early in free agency, but no team was willing to meet his asking price at the time. Sherman serves as his own agent, so he's negotiating his own deal. There is also the matter of Sherman's ongoing legal situation stemming from a July incident that we all saw that led to his arrest on 5 misdemeanor charges, including driving under the influence and second-degree criminal trespass. The arrest was originally reported as a domestic violence incident, but police said Sherman didn't physically assault anyone. He pled not guilty to all charges and pledged to seek help. A person close to Sherman said he has been doing magnetic therapy and speaking with a therapist since the incident, helping him work through many issues he didn't have the tools to address before. He also dropped 15 pounds. weight he put on after an Achilles tear in 2017 and kept on for the most part of 3 seasons in San Francisco. So Richard Sherman in great shape, getting help, great to hear. And, now teams are starting to call. So 49ers, Seahawks, Bucks, all potential there. Probably keep an eye out on the Saints as well because, we've been seeing them kind of on a cornerback buying spree over the last couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens with Richard Sherman if he can get back on the field and hopefully can kind of, try to get into maybe the top 10 class of cornerbacks. I don't think he can get back to that number 1 cornerback, number 1 shutdown corner in the league, but maybe he can get close there at the top 10 position. But multiple teams are calling on free agent cornerback Richard Sherman, so we'll see what happens. Alrighty, next story up here. Bears quarterback Justin Fields expected to see an increase in snaps versus the Bengals. Yeah, great. His increase should go from, what do we have, like 3 last week to all of them. They should have all of them right here, all of them. Give them all the snaps, all the reps here. So let's see what we should be expecting to see from the Bears this week in their quarterback controversy. So here we go. Expect to see more Justin Fields in the regular season Soldier Field in his regular season Soldier Field debut Sunday afternoon. The Chicago Bears are expected to give rookie quarterback, quote, increased snaps against the Cincinnati Bengals. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported Sunday on NFL Game Day morning, saying, quote, he's growing every day. There are wow moments, wow throws every single day in practice, Rappaport said. Quote, he's actually coming along faster than they expected. Yeah, we saw that. We saw him coming along faster than expected. We saw that in preseason. There was no reason not to start him week 1. Damn. Back to the quote. They are essentially heads over heels in love with them. They use these packages as growth moments for Fields. No moment is too big, so expect to see for him. Okay. But I mean, are we just? What is the deal? What is the hesitation? What is the holdup of just naming him the starter for growth? Well, by the time he's actually the starter here, everybody's gonna have their footing underneath them. So you're putting him already behind the 8 ball here, and the fact that nobody's bringing that up or Matt Nagy's not kind of expediting Justin Fields to like the week 1 starter, especially since what we just saw with Andy Dalton last week truly floundering. It's like, what is the hesitation? There should be no more hesitation. If they are truly, head over heels in love with Justin Fields, it makes no sense with starting Andy Dalton, besides the fact that Matt Nagy wants to give Andy Dalton the revenge game, which, is nonsense. But okay. So we'll see if we see more Justin Fields here. He put up 7 points, looked good, completed a pass, completed a couple of runs, and he got the job done. Put up as many points as Andy Dalton did, and didn't turn over the ball twice like Andy Dalton did. So, all right. So, expect to see more out of Justin Fields today. Hopefully we do. All right, we get this. Cowboys are going to play linebacker Micah Parsons at defensive end due to defensive line injury. So, wow, this is going to be great here. We love Micah Parsons. He's great, always around the ball. This Cowboys defense forcing takeaways. Ball hawks all over this field, and now they are going to be utilizing Micah Parsons on the defensive edge to rush the passer. So let's see what we should be expecting to see here from the Cowboys. Here we go. When the Dallas Cowboys drafted Micah Parsons at number 12, they selected the consensus top-rated off-the-ball linebacker despite already being stacked at the position group. And just 2 weeks into the season, out of a serious need, they are already moving him. The talented tackler from Penn State will essentially move to defensive end, sources say, beginning with Dallas's game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Thanks to the broken foot of DeMarcus Lawrence, truly unfortunate, suffered at practice this week, alongside with Randy Gregory landing on the COVID-19 list, there is a big-time void when it comes to rushing the passer. Parsons should help fill it. With Parsons making a move, Leighton Vander Esch should stay on the field in all packages along with Keanu Neal, which is another added benefit of the Parsons shift. Neal may play added safety snaps this week, paving the way for more Jalen Smith snaps, some tinkering for sure, but Dallas's D is confident it can perform. So once again, we have to give credit to Dan Quinn, really decent defensive performance week 1 on the road against defending Super Bowl champs on Thursday Night Football. And now with all these injuries and the COVID-19 list shuffling along the defense all as a whole, linebackers going from defensive end and corners and safeties and all that. So we'll see what happens here and what this defense can do, but I'm going to say he can get it done. Micah Parsons, let's see if we get any information on what he does as a pass rusher, if they have any information on that of what he did in college. But here we go. As for Parsons, rushing the passer isn't new. In fact, that's all he did prior to arriving at Penn State before he was moved to linebacker out of need. Wow. The Cowboys smartly trained Parsons as a designated pass rusher this spring, and he even impressed Lawrence while doing it. Quote here by Micah Parsons. Last week, we were watching film of pass rush, and D-Law came up to me and was like, "You pass rush like that, Rook?" I was like, "Yeah, I used to be a defensive end." He was like, "All right, tap in with me." Me and him have been getting closer, so that's great. We know DeMarcus Lawrence has great leadership. We saw it in Hard Knocks. We saw it on Thursday night. Fantastic. And now that DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be kind of coaching up Micah Parsons about rushing the passer and Justin Herbert and all that, I think the Cowboys can squeak away with a victory today, folks. I truly do. So we'll see what this defense can do, and we'll see if we give Micah Parsons credit come Monday, and we'll see if we give Dan Quinn a ton of credit come Monday if this defense can get it done for the Cowboys. So, alrighty, Micah Parsons going to be playing defensive end today. All right, we already talked about Jamison Crowder. Unfortunate that he's out. But here we go. Darren Waller could be making tight end university history today, folks. Darren Waller can become the first tight end in NFL history with 5 straight 100-yard receiving games. Sheesh. He's already 4 deep today against the Steelers. If he has a 100-yard game, he will be in the record books at the tight end position. So, man, oh man, tight end university is already popping off this season, and it's only been 1 week, folks. So, Darren Waller wants to advance tight end university and all that, and we'll see if he breaks the record. And, man, oh man, tight end university next season, tuition prices are about to skyrocket if this man can do it. So, you better book your tuition now, every other tight end. Get that tight end university scholarship. Get that tight end university acceptance letter, because if Darren Waller's breaking history out here, tuition prices are going sky high. So we're watching Darren Waller today. If he can break it, hopefully he can. Obviously rooting for Darren Waller. We love Darren Waller. We love tight ends all across the league. But, man, oh, man, breaking records and setting history and cementing your legacy, nothing better than that. So, Darren Waller, go get it done. We know Derek Carr is going to be focusing you all game. He had like 16, 18 targets to Darren Waller, by far the most on Monday night against the Ravens. So, we'll see what he's up for today against the Steelers team. Alrighty, Josh Norman. Wow, we just saw him get signed a couple of weeks ago with the 49ers and is now expected to start against the Eagles. So we'll see if Josh Norman can get it done. We know he only had really 1 good season, and he's been kind of floundering ever since then. But we'll see what this 49ers defense can utilize him with, and if he can kind of get back to his peak form. Shutdown corner, but against the Eagles team, we'll see if Devontae Smith can burn them. We'll see if Jalen Hurts takes advantage. So we'll see who wins this game, 49ers or the Eagles, and we'll see if Josh Norman has any impact on the win or the loss. So expect Josh Norman out there for the 49ers. Tyrod Taylor, baby, waiting for this moment, folks. Quote, Tyrod Taylor on earning the starting job in Houston says, quote, everything that's happened in my career has prepared me for this moment. This man is ready to rock, already had a great showing week 1, and is ready to continue that great showing and prove everybody that he still deserves to be in this league at a starting quarterback capacity. We're rooting for him. We think he can keep the game close. Tyrod Taylor, go out and prove that you are the real deal, that you should have been starting the entire season last year, not Justin Herbert, if it wasn't for that dang pesky medical doctor. Unfortunate. So, Tyrod Taylor believing in himself, and so far, so good. Alrighty, and then kind of the last thing to talk about here today. We are 11 minutes away from kickoff, but this could be do or die, folks. I know it's only week 2 and we're in an expanded season and all that, but it could be do or die if you go down 0-2. So we've got the stats here. A noteworthy stat, 258 teams have started a season 0-2 since 1990. 258 teams, 0-2. Only 30 out of the 258 teams, that's only 11%, ended up turning it around and making the playoffs. Only 15, that's only 5%, won their division after starting 0-2, and only 3 teams, that's 1%, won the Super Bowl after starting 0-2. So, this could be a huge potential detrimental week for some teams that started 0-1 if they lose again. So, let's go around the league to see who is really in a do-or-die scenario today to get the win, to avoid starting 0-2 and avoid being one of those statistics of the 258 teams that have started 0-2 over the last 30 years. So here we go. Everybody in the NFC West is undefeated. Of course they are. We've been talking about that all offseason. The NFC West is the best division in football, hands down, no debate, all of that. Alrighty, in the NFC South, only one team has lost, and that is the Atlanta Falcons. And unfortunately, they have to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. They're on the road, folks. The Falcons are on the road. It is in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. So, Falcons going to go 0-2 and will become a statistic, no doubt. I mean, the Falcons are trash, folks. So, no hope. All hope is lost here for Atlanta. Only 2 weeks into the season. Arthur Smith, trying to take this team and turn it around, but it's not going to happen. They start 0-2, and they don't turn it around. So, unfortunate. We can already call the Atlanta Falcons season over. How unfortunate. Alrighty, everybody in the NFC North is defeated, folks. How truly unfortunate. Vikings, Lions, Bears, Packers, all 0-1. For the Vikings this week, having to face the Cardinals. It is potential that this Viking season is already over 2 weeks into the season. Womp, womp. For the Lions, who have to face the Packers, it is truly unfortunate the Lions season is already over. Unfortunate. Womp, womp. For the Chicago Bears, who have to face the Bengals, it's looking like you could potentially still make something out of the season, but you're not starting Justin Fields this week, so your kind of season is already over. Womp, womp. And then for the Packers, luckily they're facing the Lions. They're getting the win. They have the opportunity to turn their season around. Take and make the most out of it. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Alrighty, heading over to the NFC East now. Cowboys. Well, let's talk about the Giants. They are 0-2. Unfortunately, they are the first 0-2 team of the season, and I hate to say it, but Giants, your season is officially over 2 weeks into the season. Womp, womp. All right, the Cowboys, they're 0-1. They have a chance to turn it around. It's going to be hard. On the road, defense is kind of, Franken defense. Everybody's kind of getting moved around. We just talked about Micah Parsons having to transition to linebacker to defensive end because no Randy Gregory, COVID-19, and no DeMarcus Lawrence, broken foot. How unfortunate. But they have to face the Chargers. We believe they can get it done. We're betting them. We're buying them. We're rooting for them. We're kind of saying they can win out right here. It's going to be a tough one on the road against the Chargers. You don't want to fall 0-2 here, but hopefully the Cowboys season isn't truly over here. They have a decent shot to win. We'll talk about this team come tomorrow. Alrighty, in the AFC North now, the Browns are 0-1 heading into this week, and they have a little bit of an easier opponent in the Texans, so it seems like they can turn this year around. Great for them. The Ravens, unfortunately, truly unfortunate here that they have to face the Chiefs Sunday Night Football. Luckily, they are at home, but it seems like they are going to lose. We can't put that much faith in the Ravens winning just because, 0-3 head up against Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson is. So this is going to be tough. Lamar Jackson, your season could potentially be over this week. I'm not going to do the womp womp here for the Ravens because I want to give them a little bit more respect than that, but this is going to be tough here. Little potential here for the Ravens season to be over week 2. Alrighty, in the AFC East, the Patriots are facing the Jets, and they are both 0-1. So one of these teams, your season is going to be over by week 2. Womp, womp. Patriots or womp, womp. Jets, we'll see what happens. And then the Bills, they've got division opponent Miami. And if you just lost week 1 against the Steelers, conference opponent, you just lost week 2 against Dolphins, division opponent, and the Dolphins are 2-0 against 2 division rivals. Buffalo, your season could potentially be over by week 2. Womp, womp. Alrighty, and then the AFC South, look at who's only got the win here. It's the Houston Texans. Give them some respect. They will be competitive against the Browns, folks. But the Colts having to face the Rams, their season could potentially be over by the end of this week, folks. I mean, how unfortunate. The Colts and Carson Wentz, we are by ability throughout the entire offseason on the Colts, but if they start 0-2, this is not a great look, especially going against the Rams. So, Colts, your season could potentially be over. Womp, womp. The Jaguars 0-1, and who do they got this week? Why am I blanking on who the Jaguars are facing? It's a tough one. It's the Broncos, yes. All right, so, yeah, this is not an easy opponent here for this Jaguars team, especially given what Trevor Lawrence just did week 1. So, Jacksonville Jaguars, your season is over by week 2. Womp, womp. The Titans 0-1. They lose again tonight against Seattle on the road. It's unfortunate, but the Titans have gone down for the last 2 seasons, and it culminates with missing the playoffs this season. The Titans, your season is done. Womp, womp. And then in the AFC West, every single team is undefeated, so they don't have to worry about going 0-2. So, some of these teams, folks, their season has already come to an end 2 weeks into the NFL season. We spent, 8 months, 9 months hyping up all these teams, and they want to flounder 2 weeks into the start of the season. So, unfortunate for some teams out here. Alrighty, folks, we are 5 minutes away from kickoff. We got to get out of here. We got to get ready for a full day of football, and we suggest you all do the same. We are back tomorrow, live noon Eastern, breaking down all the action that we are about to see tonight. So come join us tomorrow and see what we have to say about every single game that went down today. So we're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, noon Eastern. Be there, be square. Watch football today. It's going to be a great one. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.